kızı.
There are no rules but one. Drink Jägermeister at minus 18 degrees Celsius.
I heard you said that you noticed this pattern when you went to Damascus, the one that you also said was present in Bosnia, that people actually thought war ain't coming, and they didn't want to believe in it. They didn't want to accept the circumstances. And we saw the similar thing with the war in the Ukraine. Basically, literally, hours before the first missiles, they were interviewing people that were living around the border with Russia, and all of them were saying, no, there won't be a war. And why do you think it is so common for people to behave that way?
It's self-preservation. You know, and I knew this from Bosnia as well. People don't leave until the last possible moment. People in Sarajevo knew that something was coming, but they didn't want to believe it. They said, look, these are our neighbors, these are our friends, I'm half Serb, I'm half Muslim, I'm half Croat, I'm half Serb, no one's going to hurt me. We try to tell ourselves fairy tales to protect ourselves, which is why, interestingly enough, COVID was so scary for many people, because I was living in New York City during COVID, and of course, New York City got hit very, very hard. And you try to tell yourself, oh no, this isn't going to happen. There's not going to be a whole country shut down, a pandemic around the world. It's our self-preservation. So when war happens, people want to think that I will be okay. Very few people gather their documents, their animals, their children, pack a suitcase and go when there's time. Most people wait until the bombs start falling, and then oftentimes it's too late. In terms of Sarajevo, it became encircled and it was a siege. And even if you wanted to leave, you could not leave. So I think that as human beings, we have something in our DNA that tries to protect us from the very worst things in life.
Yeah, there's also I believe there's a part of being almost war toxic, to say it like that, because there were people, I remember here saying, when some of the Ukrainians fled, they were sitting comfortably in their chair, watching TV, saying, look at these pussies leaving their country instead of staying to defend it, and what an unpatriotic behavior and this and that. It was crazy to hear those stories.
Yeah, I mean, all the young men, you would be on the front line right now. You'd be in Bakhmut, being mowed down by guns. It's a meat grinder there. All of the young men who 2 years ago at this time were thinking about girls or, PlayStation or graduating from college or living what they were going to do in the summer. Those guys are all now on a front line. Many of them will die. Many of them will get terribly wounded. People can't really grasp the notion that your own country is going to be invaded and will be burning. It's the worst thing in the world.
We stay genuine, uncensored and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Ikuzo!